Hey, I've never asked you this before, but I'm going to ask it now. If you start this video, please watch the whole thing.
Welcome back to the Dry Fire Journal. This is day 342. I'm on my back patio here at my home. I'm fortunate to have acreage and neighbors that know what I do, and they see me dry fire all the time. But you may not be so fortunate, but if you're able to get outside, I encourage you to get outside and do some dry fire work. Pardon me while I let a cat inside my home. There you go. So, what we're going to work on tonight is really vital, specifically in two veins of thought. First, if your primary methodology is to have a handheld light and a gun, and no weapon light, you may have some reasons for that. I get it. I just feel like trying to point a light and trying to aim a gun is trying to do this under stress on your very worst day, and I don't want to have to do that. If you've been to my low light class, a handful of you have watched your handheld light move as you are presenting or pressing the firearm. No matter how you mount the gun to your body, you are watching that light move as you press the shot, and that is distracting and somewhat confusing, especially in a close quarters environment. So I recommend having a light on your gun. But if a handheld light and a gun are separate things for you, you absolutely must get outside or turn the lights off in your room and practice getting your light out, getting your light on. And even if you have a weapon light, you have to work on this. Getting your light out and on and put on your person in such a way that you can see whatever it is in front of you, and you're not raising it up like near your head. You are just seeing what you need to see. It can be a quick dot. It can be click on to stay illuminated. But if it comes time to get the gun out, if you are just light and gun, I need you to work on a one-handed draw stroke to clear your cover garment, get on your gun, get the gun out. If you have a safety, defeat that safety, and then figure out where you want to hold your light so that you can see what you're doing with your sights, either silhouetted behind the light or with the light illuminating part of your sight so that you can see. It is complicated, it is difficult, and if you live like where I live, where 3 months out of the year there's more darkness than light, I believe it's insufficient. That's just my take. Your mileage may vary. If you have a weapon light, you need to identify whatever that threat or target is, be able to drop that light and ignite this light quickly on your firearm while maintaining your index at a low ready position, still bouncing light off the concrete, asphalt, carpet, whatever, so that you can maintain positive identification of not just the threat, but the situation and circumstance that has come your way. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail here, but it's as simple as this and as complicated as this. It adds a step to your draw stroke to be able to draw the firearm cleanly and get the light on at low ready. And it's probably something, if you have a weapon light, it's probably something you have not worked on enough. Just getting, I caught my gun on my pants. That's unusual. Just getting the gun out and getting the light on. I also recommend sweeping that light off. If you have a Surefire that rotates, I recommend turning the light on with your support hand thumb and then sweeping up with a bladed forefingers to turn that light off. I took the button off of my strong side so that I'm only using my left hand thumb instead of my trigger finger. Now, I know that poses a problem if I am shooting left-handed, one-handed only, but I decided to set up my firearm with the light for the way that I would most likely use it, not for the percentile chance that I am, number one, shooting in the dark, number two, using my weapon light. I know what a low percentage that is. Third, doing all of that support side one-handed, left-handed. You need to put some work into, for those of you that carry a weapon light, and I recommend that you do, you need to put some work in the dark to getting that gun out and light on without moving your trigger finger. So, these are just some concepts that I want you to think about and ask yourself, have I worked on this in the last 30 days? Chances are, for many of you, the answer is, so, put in some work. Understand that you move about freely in the dark and you want to be able to defend yourself. Now, a common argument that I have heard about the use of a weapon light is this: if the bad guy can see you, then you'll be able to see the bad guy. I think that's an incredibly big assumption. Let me tell you why. If I come out of a well-lit home, if I walk out of a well-lit retail environment, if I'm walking out of a movie theater, if I'm walking out of a house of worship, if I'm walking out of any lit environment, and I walk out into a parking lot, which is where a lot of attacks occur, chances are the attacker has already been out there with eyes adjusted to the current lighting condition that I am not conditioned for. Why? Because my eyes are used to the lit environment that I have just left. And we all know that attacks like that happen in liminal spaces where we are moving from one place to another. So I'm a big proponent of having a weapon light on your gun. I'm a big proponent of having a handheld light and learning to use it well. We have to work on all of these things if we want to be competent in the moral, ethical, legal defense of life as we move about our environments. So give this some very real thought. Don't just assume that you know how to do this. Put some work into it. Let me know how it goes, and I'll see you tomorrow.